Britney Spears is dropping bombshell after bombshell, and while her controversial memoir is taking the internet by storm, it turns out she is exposing more people. However, her mother, Lynne Spears, is finally breaking her silence and is calling out her daughter for allegedly lying in her memoir.
I have sat for hours thinking about everything that's happened, and I think it's been a whirlwind.
From being accused of selling Britney's belongings for money to being the worst parent while she was struggling, Britney's mother decided enough was enough and laid the record straight.
People said, oh, Lynne Spears must be a stage mother.
You know what? Britney pushed me.
So what did Britney's mother say, and how did she react? Let's find out. It's no secret that Britney doesn't have the best relationship with her parents. In fact, the circus singer shocked fans after she revealed how she doesn't have any say about her career. Specifically, it turns out that Papa and Mama Spears were the ones holding the strings throughout her Hollywood journey, and the singer felt suffocated and begged them to give her a say about what she wanted to do. Right before she released her memoir, The Woman in Me, Britney released a clip about how her relationship with her mother and father affected her as a child, and how these traumas most probably triggered so many negative emotions throughout her career.
When I was growing up, my mother and father fought constantly. He was an alcoholic. I was usually scared in my home.
All the dark secrets were out of the bag during her infamous conservatorship hearing, where the singer desperately asked the court to end the trial, saying, "I just want my life back. It's been 13 years and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money." Going back, people had been speculating how Britney's family was just using her for the money and fame. And when her father decided to file for the conservatorship, these theories started to become more of a reality. While her mother was not initially involved with the process, she made her presence felt as the years progressed. However, while she tried to make her image as a concerned parent, fans were not convinced with her facade, especially since Britney had hinted one too many times that her mother is not as perfect as she seems. But Lynne is denying all the accusations Britney made in the book. This was not the first she did so, because ever since the Princess of Pop started exposing her for all the shady things she did, Lynne had always been ready to debunk her daughter's claims. Most of them recalled an interview way back in 2008 where Lynne Spears insisted that she is not the stage mom everyone is trying to label her.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
I'm a stage mom.
Pulling the strings, the puppeteer.
In another interview, Lynne clarified these allegations and implied that she might have done all those things to protect her children. Nothing more, nothing less.
A term, isn't it?
But sometimes, like stage mothers, sometimes it can be considered that way too, because sometimes mothers want to protect their children. Like maybe they don't want their child to do something on a show, so they say, I don't want them to do that.
She didn't stop there. While her daughters were having the toughest times of their lives, Lynne Spears decided to make a profit out of the drama and wrote her own book entitled Through the Storm, where she talks about her struggles as the mother of one of the most famous pop star singers in the history of Hollywood. Just like the other interviews, she suggested that the media had framed her in a negative light, and that her books aim to debunk the allegations that she is a controlling stage mother.
Well, I think there was the tabloid version of our lives, and then even though it started out as poems and memoirs, I decided I needed to set it straight. I wanted to be in the driver's seat. I wanted people to see my family as we really are.
But did she really mean well, or is she really a control freak? Well, Britney has other things to say and is determined to finally expose her mother and other family members to everything that they did to her throughout the years. And if you've been lurking on the internet for the past few days, you'll surely know about Britney's memoir, which had been a Pandora's box of never unheard stories about what really happened behind closed doors and how her life turned upside down. One of the many reasons Britney mentioned was she associated with the wrong people, and yes, her mother is one of them. Throughout the pages of the book, Britney told stories about her mother being a fraud. While she was making a perfect image of a supportive mother, the truth is much darker than that. In fact, Britney accused her mother of not giving her any moral support during her breakup with Justin Timberlake.
Please don't forget to subscribe and open the notification bell for the latest Hollywood gossips and drama. It will help me a lot. Thank you so much in advance.
And we know how messy that was. Things got more serious after the Princess of Pop also claimed that Justin forced her to get rid of their baby because he was not ready to be a father before using his relationship with Britney to fuel his career while literally making Britney look bad. As a result, the singer became the target of the press, and the next thing we know, she was already driven out of Hollywood and was labeled with very nasty names. This is why Britney felt no support from her family and called out her mother for not giving her the love and care a mother should be giving to her daughter during pretty tough times. In a recent Instagram post, the singer didn't hold back and blatantly expressed her desire to quote-unquote smacking her mother and sister in the face. Just imagine the horrible things they did to Britney for her to think that way. While the post was already deleted, fans were quick enough to capture the upload, and boy oh boy, Britney is not joking around. Britney captioned the post with, "I had worked my whole life and I didn't know how to be served by mama. Sit there and get served the chocolate milkshakes with the perfectly crushed ice with the secret chunky sugar." And then she threw at her sister and continued with, "Meanwhile, Jamie Lynn is 12. She indulges with the TV for hours, then goes to lay out on a raft at the pool. I'm in shock because this was never my life. Justin's family was all I knew for many years." This was not the first time Britney stirred an online dispute with her mother because in 2022, she straight up accused her of being abusive during her 13 years of conservatorship and for allegedly ruining everything. The pop singer accused her mother of rejecting her, lying to her, and taking advantage of her while feigning to be a model parent in a lengthy statement that was shared on Instagram on Monday. The accusations were made just hours after her mother denied that she had ignored text messages the Gimme More singer sent her from a mental health facility in 2019. But things get more interesting from here. After slamming her mother, other family members, and big names in her memoir, fans are now connecting the dots. Specifically, they pulled out the 20-minute long rant Britney had uploaded and quickly made private last year where she spilled a lot of tea about her family. She was very candid and mentioned how during the past years, she didn't feel her hardships were valid and was hesitant about sharing them even when she was given the platform during interviews, but she finally decided enough was enough.
I've had tons of opportunities, Oprah interviews, to go on a platform and share hardships or just really anything that's going on in my mind, and I really don't think any of that is relevant.
At first, people thought she was just venting, but after the comments she made about her mother in her memoir, everyone is claiming that everything she said made sense. One of the many claims she made was that she was actually completely sober when her family decided it was in her best interest to be placed in rehab.
I honestly, still to this day, don't know what really I did. I literally spoke in a British accent to a doctor to prescribe my medication, and 3 days later, there was a swap team in my home, 3 helicopters. There was no drugs in my system, no alcohol, nothing. It was pure abuse.
At one point, Britney also shared a never-before-heard story about how her mother reacted when she was taken to rehab. And yes, you will be shocked about how the supposed loving and caring mother did while her daughter was literally dragged and feasted by paparazzi during one of her most vulnerable times.
But I remember my mom was sitting on the couch and she said, "We've heard people are coming here today to talk to you. We should probably go, to a hotel or something." And I never really understood what she meant. I didn't believe her.
Because of her mother's calm demeanor, Britney didn't expect what happened after, and the next thing she knew, she was already getting forced into an ambulance when she claimed to be sober.
Then 4 hours later, there were over 200 paparazzi outside my house videotaping me through a window of an ambulance holding me down on a Gurmer.
And since then, Britney realized that everything was part of a plan, saying that she has a clear understanding the entire incident that happened that day was premeditated. This was the total opposite of what her mother had been saying during the time she was left with no choice but to get admitted to a health institution. When asked why she thinks it's necessary, here's what Lynne Spears has to say.
I honestly, still to this day, don't know what really I did. I literally spoke in a British accent to a doctor to prescribe my medication, and 3 days later, there was a swap team in my home, 3 helicopters. There was no drugs in my system, no alcohol, nothing. It was pure abuse.
Soon after, an internet debate started, with fans weighing whether what Britney's mother did was correct, but by the looks of it, A lot of people are convinced that her parents were not the best parents during their daughter's roller coaster ride of a career. It didn't take long before more dirty secrets about Lynne Spears came to light. One of the many is the fact that she had been selling Britney's belongings for a profit. Another one is how her actions didn't align with her words. After Britney shared the audio rant and deleted it, Lynne went on social media and shared her reactions to her daughter's accusations about her. She started by saying that she and her daughter usually talk things in private, an obvious blow at how Britney decided to make everything public through the audio clip she shared. However, she actually made an Instagram post and even tagged Britney just to call her out about selling her dolls and journal, accusations she denied. One person on X pointed this out and left a comment saying, "And instead of Lynne Spears reaching out to her daughter Britney Spears privately like a normal mother, she decided to contact her on Instagram and tag her in photos." While another fan added, "Absolutely inappropriate and disgusting. Lynne needs to send Everlast item back to Britney and now. I hope Brit's attorney addresses this ASAP." So far, the feud between Britney and her mother is far from over, and while Lynne Spears has not made any reaction about Britney's memoir, fans are expecting some sort of a rebuttal in the next few days. How about you? Do you think Britney's mother tried to control her? Let us know in the comments below.